When we're calculating assets, you look at first cash. What's the cash on hand in your, in your pocket, at home, under your mattress? Hopefully not too much. In your checking account, your savings, money market, cash value of life insurance, or any other cash. Maybe you've got some silver, some gold coins. That's the real money. Where do you have that stashed? Just take note of all that. So cash would be on the assets side. Of course, real estate, also on the asset side of your net worth, be your primary residence, any vacation home, investment property, land, partnerships, anything else, any teepees, igloos. It's your real estate. Investments, certificates of deposit, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, annuities, IRAs, 401ks, 403bs, 457 plans, Roths, pension plans, anything else that would be considered an investment. Personal property, automobiles, recreational vehicles, home furnishings, appliances, furniture, collections, jewelry, gold, silver, all your personal property. Add that up to your asset side. Maybe your personal property looks, here's your yacht, and here's your couch, and here's your car. Doesn't matter, as long as you're happy. Calculate the value of these things. All right, liabilities. This is on the other side. Got your assets, you've got your liabilities. So these are your debts. This is what you owe on those assets that you have, basically. Hopefully they're assets. Hopefully you don't owe on a bunch of stuff that has no value. All right, household, medical, credit cards, department store cards, back taxes, legal, and anything else on your debt side. Of course, mortgages. This will be on the real estate. Any debt you have against your real estate assets, your primary residence, your vacation home, investment property, land, partnership, other. Of course, any other loans you might have, bank, auto, recreational vehicles, education, those college loans, boy, we know about those. Life insurance, personal, and other. So there we are. Your net worth is simply this equation. Your assets minus your liabilities, that equals your net worth. That's not so hard, right? Okay, so we're going to come and look at this, the net worth tracker. So again, the net worth is the value of a person's assets minus their liabilities. So we're going to send you, as an Academy member, this spreadsheet. And you'll be able to fill it in and start tracking your net worth. Now, you might not want to do it every month. That might be overkill. But I really recommend doing this about every quarter, certainly every year. Time goes quickly. And as I said, it's your greatest asset. So please use your time wisely. Too bad there's no place to put it on here, but that would be on a different page, which would be, how do I want to spend my time, ideally? So we will send you this spreadsheet and you can fill it out. My husband and I do this every new year as a check-in, as a snapshot of where we are and how things might have changed. It tells a story. So again, you just see in January, this is an example of, checking account, the cash on hand, the savings, 401ks, IRAs, primary residence, total assets, and then of course liabilities down here. We got a $152,000 loan. Student loans, car loans, total liabilities. We're in the negative. So we're spending a little more than we have coming in. And that's tough. Boy, this is a great snapshot because we can say, now I know why I'm using my credit cards. This is why. What can I do to change this? What can I do to turn this around? Well, here's what they did. Checking account. They put a little more cash away. They spent less, $250 less. So that put more in their checking account. Savings, put a little bit more away in savings, a little bit more in the 401k. The IRA, didn't do it on this one. And the house is the same. Now, Maybe that house went up in value. I'll tell you what, right now, the way real estate is, it's very possible that house went up in value in 1 month. But let's just not assume that. And also, I don't really like using primary residence as part of your net worth, because if you're planning on living there, you're not cashing that in, doesn't really necessarily apply. But we have it here anyway. It would only come in handy if you were planning to sell. That's when you cash it in. But here now, the mortgage, they pay down a little. The student loan paid down a tiny bit. The car loan, a little bit. And the credit card, look at that. So this person put a little bit more in savings, didn't spend quite as much, paid off some debt, and voila, look at that. We now have a positive net worth, and the change here is positive. Now, $1,900 difference and a positive net worth. Now, this is fun to play with, because if these numbers were very, very different, and let's say let's add some zeros here for the fun of it. We're going to come in here and add a zero. Or maybe, we'll do that. Savings, they have $80,000 in savings. Okay, let's see what happens here. Now the net worth just went up. That's nice. Let's say that an investment property was purchased, and let's just say that $100,000 property in, let's say, Dallas or Atlanta or something like that. So they had to put $20,000 down. So we'll just come back here and they still have this money in their account. They took out of their savings. They'd have to put $20,000 down. So now they have $60,000 in their savings. They still have I'm going to say that they contributed a little. So let's say they're up to $5,000 now. $5,000. And IRAs, for some reason, we're not contributing here. I don't know why. Maybe that IRA's old. Other investments, $500. Okay, we're just going on down here. And primary residence has gone up to $166. Okay. So now we bought we have other real estate. Okay, now we have $100,000 property, right? Okay, now we've got a couple of mortgages. So we've got this one, and it looks like they paid off about $300. So we're going to say, I don't know, $400. Okay, student loans, doggone, those are hard to pay off. There we go. I'd pay a little more. Well, it depends on the interest rate. If it was low interest rate, I'd take my time. Car loan. That's a high interest rate. Let's pay it down faster. But there we go. Credit card. Ooh, don't like those. Let's pay it down to $2,000. Okay, so interesting here. We've got the other real estate. Now, imagine that we've increased our net worth from paying some of that stuff down too. Imagine it's a year from now, and that real estate has gone up in value, and the mortgages have gone down. Now, we're going to see, obviously, a really nice increase in the net worth here. And that is the name of the game. Of course, if the opposite happened and those values went down, we would see what we saw over the last 6 years, which was net worth being cut in half. Fortunately, it appears that we are on the side of the cycle where prices are going up. So I'm going to assume that in 1 year, that it's maybe gone up, let's just say 6%. So now pretend this is a year. It's not April, but now this is 106,000. This is going to be another 10,000 or so, 176,000. But we're going to still have this cash here, unless we bought more property. But we've paid down these loans. So again, this is one of those ways that you can really accelerate the growth of your net worth, which is acquiring assets and paying down liabilities. Now you might be saying, why shouldn't this person just take this 60 grand and pay off the credit card debt? Let's say they have more credit card debt and it's at 20%. And most people will say, Oh my goodness, pay it down. Well, let's say they had $20,000 in credit card debt, and somebody, I hope not, but somebody might say, oh, what would be better? Taking another $20,000 from here and buying a property, or taking that $20,000 and paying off the debt? Well, it depends. Let's say that there was some really good cash flow coming from the assets, coming from this real estate. Let's say it's $500 a month because we've got 2 investment properties that we bought in a down market where rents are high and mortgage payments are low, and we're able to cash flow. $500. Now that is $500 that we can be paying down the credit card. We're building assets, but paying down the debt with the cash flow. That, in my opinion, is a much better plan than just taking the cash and buying and paying down the debt. I would rather see money go into buying assets. Assets create income that pay down the debt. Okay, so there's all kinds of things you can do with the spreadsheet. You can play around and see where the best place to put your money is. We will send it to you. I also highly recommend that you get familiar with Quicken or QuickBooks and learn how to work with your net worth on those, because it's just all automated. It's wonderful. I can find out with a click of the button what I've spent on groceries, what I've spent on travel, what I've spent on vacations, on children's stuff, on clothing, food, gas. It even helps me further understand where my money's going, where I might be able to be cutting back, and where I might be focusing. Now, like we talked about earlier, when we focus on what we can't have, it's awful, painful. No one likes doing it. We are creatures of pleasure. We don't like pain for the most part. So when we're looking at these things and we say, and we're focused on this credit card debt, that is no fun. But when we are buying assets and saying, okay, these assets are going to pay off this debt, and oh my goodness, in this month it's going to be paid off because of the cash generated from these assets. Now that's exciting. Or we might say, wow, we've been spending an awful lot of money on food. Maybe we're going out too much. What would be a fun way to spend less on food? And, maybe the family cooks together, or the kids pitch in, or everybody's responsible for a different meal one night of the week. Buying it, and whoever can do it the cheapest wins. I don't know. Have it be fun. Vacations. When my husband and I were saving for investment properties, we weren't going to Hawaii. You know where we were going? We were going to this little lake in Northern California. I don't even know the name of it, but it's free camping. And we would bring all our friends, and we would go camp at this lake, and we would bring boats and toys and kayaks, and we would have the time of our lives camping for free by this lake and saving lots of money. So, again, it doesn't have to feel like taking away from your joy and your pleasure. It's just different. It just changes. And I'll tell you, now we do take the kids to Hawaii. And the vacations that they remember the most are those camping ones. So, don't underestimate, how much fun you can have on a lower budget just by shifting things around. All right. Well, I hope this was helpful, everyone. Take care, and we'll see you on the next one.